Hi there, thanks for joining me today on this channel. And before I start, let me tell you the topic of today to start with. Today I'm going to look at 10 conditions that will raise a red flag. 10 conditions that will raise a red flag. But before I go into that, I bumped into someone the other day and she said to me, I've been working hard to lose weight. I've been trying to lose weight and nothing is happening. And I said to her, have you seen my channel? So why I'm raising this topic is this. I've already had a video on secrets to losing weight and keeping it off. So if you're watching this particular video and you haven't seen that video, please go and watch. And also subscribe, because the conditions I'm dealing with today is going to come in 3 parts. I'm dealing with 10 medical conditions today, and there will be 3 parts of it. So if you don't subscribe, you won't know when I deal with the other 10 conditions. So it will be in 3 parts, but let's get into it. So today I'm dealing with 10 conditions that it could be common, but at the same time, it can also raise a red flag. Number 1 of the condition is persistent joint pain. I'm not talking of the kind of pain you have when you have had a marathon or you've done something physical. I'm talking of persistent joint pain that is abnormal. It's not something you have felt before. So if you have a persistent joint pain that has been ongoing and you can't explain it, it could be arthritis, it could be autoimmune disease, it could also be what we call Lyme disease. So if you have any of this, please see your GP or your medical practitioner. Number 2 is breathlessness. So especially breathlessness that you feel when you're lying down. You're not working hard, you're not doing anything, you're just lying there and you're struggling to breathe. So this could be a sign of heart problem. It could be a sign of respiratory problem. So if this becomes a problem, my advice again is to see your GP. Number 3 is palpitation or irregular heartbeat. I know that when you're, especially for women, during menopause or around the time when you're approaching menopause, palpitation or irregular heartbeat, flushing or hot flushes, those are common. But what happens when you have palpitation that you cannot explain? So this could be a sign of underlying heart condition, especially when that palpitation, you also, in addition to that, you have chest pain, you have breathlessness, you have nausea, you have feeling of fainting or dizziness. My advice again is to contact your medical practitioner, because this palpitation might be more than what you think. And number 4 is painful intercourse. Sex is meant to be enjoying. It's meant to be something people have and they enjoy it and they look forward to it. But when you're having sex and it's painful sexual intercourse, or you dread it, something is not right. It could be a sign of pelvic inflammatory disease. It could be a sign of sexually transmitted infection like chlamydia, like gonorrhea, like genital herpes, like endometriosis. So if constant pain is what you get, if you dread having sex, then my advice is to see your GP or see your medical practitioner. Something might be going on. And number 5 is tinnitus. That ringing in the ear. We do get it from time to time. Maybe you've gone into the shower or into a bath, or you've gone to swim and the water have entered your ear. It feels that you're hearing things, or there's this ringing, annoying sensation. That is normal. But what I'm talking about in terms of tinnitus is if it's persistent, if it's worsening, then my advice again is to see your GP. It could be a sign of diabetes. It could be a sign of thyroid disorder. It could be a sign of iron deficiency. It could also be a sign of multiple sclerosis. So seek medical attention, especially if the tinnitus is also accompanied with dizziness or hearing loss or numbness, or maybe you had a head injury, because this could also be a sign of stroke. And number 6 is hoarseness of voice. Some guys or even ladies, they have deep voice. I'm not talking about that. That is normal when you have a deep voice. What I'm talking about is it's unusual. Maybe you're talking to someone and say, hang on, what's going on here? Your voice sounds a bit deeper than the usual. And if it's lasted for more than 3 to 4 weeks, my advice is also seek for medical attention, because it could be a sign of what we call gastroesophageal reflux disease. I know it's too much. What am I talking about here? It is when you have acid in your tummy, your digestive acids coming up, causing you heartburn, causing you indigestion, causing you to feel like your chest pain. That is what we call gastric esophageal reflux disease. So tinnitus combined with that, or hoarseness combined with that, you need to see your GP. Also, hoarse voice with this that's lasted for more than 4 weeks, it could be a sign of laryngeal cancer. So again, see your GP. Number 7 is persistent fatigue. I'm not talking about when you had you ran around all day working, or your mom, you're chasing about the children all over the house, or you've been doing housework, or you've been gardening, or you've been on the roof, you'll be working longer. Of course, we get tired and we feel tired. I'm talking about when you have constant feeling of tiredness, you can't even explain it. You don't even know what it is. I mean, you slept so well, you haven't done anything, and you still feel very tired. Again, that could be a sign of anemia. It could be a sign of thyroid function disorder. It could be a sign of chronic fatigue syndrome. It could be a sign of sleep apnea or heart problem. So if you have unexplained tiredness that is lasting for 3 to 4 weeks, my advice to you again is to see your GP or your medical practitioner. Number 8 is clogged fingernails. Again, this is something that is not normal. So if you have clogged fingernails, it could be a sign of lung cancer. Also, it could be a sign of heart problem. Again, you need to speak to someone about it. And number 9 is unusual bleeding. Now, ladies, you guys know yourself very well. So if you know how your menstrual period is, you know how normal it is. So if you begin to see that you're bleeding heavier than normal, or is even lighter than normal, or if for everybody you're bleeding from the gum or from your nostrils, or when you go to pass urine, there's a bleeding, or when you cough, there's a blood in your phlegm, that is not normal. It's always good to try and do something earlier than later. Find out what is going on. Speak to your GP. It could be a sign of hormonal imbalance. It could be a sign of blood disorder. It could be a sign of a sinister cancer. So the earlier you do something about it, the earlier you speak to someone about it, the better. And the final condition today I'm going to deal with is frequent urination. So if you're going to the toilet all the time, having to make a wee, more than usual, you haven't drank so much water, you have drank so much alcohol or anything, but you're going to make a wee all the time. In fact, you're disturbing the whole house is hear you all the time, waking up unusual, and it's going on for a while. It could be a sign of urinary tract infection, especially if that frequent urination is coupled with burning sensation or the urge. If you want to go, then it could be a sign of urinary tract infection. It could also be a sign of early onset of diabetes. Or maybe you're diabetic already. That means your diabetes is not well controlled. I don't know. So really, if you're diabetic, you need to be checking your blood sugar. You need to go for a routine check. Because if all of a sudden you're going to wee more often than not, it could be that your medication is not working. It could also be that you're diabetic. So those are the 10 conditions today. So if you haven't subscribed, I wonder why. Please subscribe, because I've only dealt with 10 conditions today. I'm also going to deal with another 10 conditions. And also, at some point in the future, there will be another 10 conditions. So it will be a 3-part series. And if you don't subscribe, how do you know when I deal with the next 10 conditions? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you some other time. Bye for now.